It's been over a month since I did an update on how the chillies are growing. In fact, it was this point where I placed the chilli plants and they were below this cabinet. So you can see that the plants that were kept indoors on a south-facing windowsill have thrived, and they've certainly shot up. And just in the last week or so, the flowers have started to form into tiny chilli pods. These are a couple of weeks away from the point when we'll start using them. This is the variety that I really enjoy growing. Highly recommend. It's a variety called Prairie Fire. And what I have said in previous videos is that I particularly like the fact that this chilli variety produces these side stems or side shoots. It's not always the most visually pleasing thing to see, but you've got extra chillies that the plant produces, and I certainly don't pinch these out because those are extra chillies that we're grateful for having. And this particular plant is a habanero orange. It's just started to come into flower. The habaneros, similar to the nagas, produce larger leaves. It seems to be a form for really hot chili peppers. And one other chili pepper that I thought I'd do a update on is this cayenne long slim, I think the variety is. It's a slim variety, and the pods have started to form now. And incidentally, I keep the chilli plants that we're going to be keeping indoors on a sunny windowsill in these tight, compact pots. And the reason for it is, obviously you haven't got as much room on the windowsill, and I don't want my plants to get too big. But the plant seems to be compensating for that by growing very tall. I've not had to do any pruning at all. And it's not taking up too much window space. While we're doing a bit of filming at home, I thought I'd have a look at how things are getting on in the back garden. We've got one courgette plant that we've established. It's a round courgette, and you can see that the flowers are fully open. Hopefully that's now been properly pollinated, and the tiny courgette that you can see at the back will develop into a much more substantial and usable crop. But you can see that the plant is really healthy. I put plenty of organic feed into the space before I planted this. I use fish blood and bone. And a really healthy plant with vibrant green leaves is an indication that we should, barring an outbreak of pests and keeping on top of the watering, we should get a good crop of courgettes from this plant. I did a sowing of Monge 2 peas just under a month ago, direct sowing, and these have popped up. This particular batch of Monge 2 was sown in pots and started a couple of weeks earlier, and naturally you can see that they are a bit further on. In fact, there's signs of pods developing. You don't get a significant crop of peas when you grow at home in small spaces, such as in a patch in the back garden or in the backyard, but they are wonderful just to pick and eat fresh, particularly the peas. A variety I've grown before, which I am growing in the allotment, is Kelvard and Wonder, but I've purposefully only grown Monge 2 here because I don't want to get a crossing of the two varieties, which has happened before. And the inverted crisp packet is simply just to act as a deterrent, particularly a deterrent to a neighbouring cat that's taken a likeness to my back garden, which is why I've had to put these grid meshes up. If you've not grown peas, they are a variety of plants that prefer cooler season times, so I'd say you could probably get a sowing done in August, September,